Hey guys, if you've been house hunting in the Tri-Valley lately, you've probably heard an agent say something like this, right? We should waive the appraisal contingency to make this offer stronger. And maybe you nodded along and had no idea what that actually meant or what you were giving up. Well, today I'm going to be breaking down exactly what contingencies do. You probably hear that all the time if you're a buyer in this market. And what happens when you waive them and how to protect yourself in a competitive offer situation, right? My name is Adi. I'm with Valley Ventures Realty and I work with buyers all over Tri-Valley, Dublin, San Ramon, Pleasanton, Livermore. Contingencies come up in almost every single offer conversation, and honestly, they're one of the most misunderstood parts of the whole buying process. So today, I'm gonna fix that for you guys, and I'm gonna make sure that you understand what they mean by the end of this video. So let's get into it. Now, what exactly is a contingency? A contingency is basically an escape hatch built into your purchase contract. It basically says, I'm agreeing to buy this house, but only if certain conditions are met. And if that condition isn't met, you can walk away from the deal. And this is the important part, get your EMD back, your earnest money deposit back. Now, without a contingency, if the same condition isn't met and you still cancel, you're at the risk of losing your deposit. And in some cases, you could even be in breach of contract. So contingencies aren't just paperwork fluff, they're financial protection. There are three big ones you'll run into almost every purchase, right? The inspection contingency, the appraisal contingency, and the loan or financing contingency. So let's go through each one and I'm going to explain them step by step. Now, the first one we're going to be looking at is the inspection contingency. And it gives you a window of time typically negotiated in the offer to have the property professionally inspected. If the inspection turns up something serious, foundation issues, roof problems, outdated electrical, you have the right to either renegotiate with the seller, ask for repairs or credits, or cancel the contract entirely and get your earnest money deposit back. Now, when you waive the inspection contingency, you're basically telling the seller, I'll buy this house as is, no matter what an inspection report would find. Now, that doesn't mean that you should skip on the inspection altogether. A lot of buyers still get one done for information purposes, but they give up the legal right to cancel or renegotiate based on what it finds if you decide to waive the inspection contingency. Now, the next one we're looking at is appraisal contingency. And this one protects you if the home doesn't appraise for the price you agreed to pay. Now, lenders won't loan you more than a property is worth, right? So if you've offered $50K over asking and the appraisal comes back at asking, this contingency lets you renegotiate the price, cover the gap in cash, or walk away with your deposit intact. Now, waiving appraisal contingency means that if the appraisal comes in low, you are on the hook to make up that difference in cash, or the deal could fall apart and you lose your deposit. Now, this is a common one to waive in a competitive market like ours, but it is also one that catches buyers off guard financially if they haven't budgeted for a potential gap in the appraisal value, right? Now, the final most common one that we'll be looking at is financing or loan contingency. And this basically protects you if your loan falls through. Maybe your rate lock expires, your financial situation changes, or the lender's underwriting denies you for some reason. With this in place, if you can't secure financing, you can cancel and get your deposit back. But waiving this is the riskiest one to give up, because if your loan doesn't close for any reason, you could lose your EMD with no financing at all to show for it. Most agents, myself included, will really only recommend waiving this if you have a very strong pre-underwritten loan or you're financially able to close in cash if needed. Now, with all of the most common contingencies explained, what is it necessary for? Well, in the Tri-Valley neighborhoods right now, well-priced move-in ready homes are getting multiple offers. Sellers are looking at every offer side by side, and a clean offer with fewer contingencies looks a lot more attractive than one with 3 or 4 conditions attached, even if the price is similar or slightly lower. So buyers really just waive contingencies to compete, and that is the honest truth of it, right? But waiving a contingency should be a calculated decision, not something that you do because your agent says it'll help you win in this offer situation. You should understand exactly what you're giving up before you do it and waive a contingency. So if you're in a competitive situation and considering waiving a contingencies, here is what I like to tell my clients, right? First, never waive the inspection contingency blindly. Do a pre-offer inspection, or at the minimum, a walkthrough with a contractor so you know what you're buying into. Second, if you're waiving the appraisal contingency, know your number. Have a clear amount in cash that you're comfortable covering if the appraisal comes in short. And third, only waive financing if your loan is fully underwritten in advance, not just pre-qualified. Waiving conditions can absolutely help you win a home in this market, but it should never be a blind decision. It should be a calculated risk you fully understand before you sign on to it. So if you or anyone that you know is gearing up to make an offer in the Tri-Valley and you want to talk through which contingencies actually make sense for your situation or the house that you're putting an offer on, please reach out, because that's exactly what we're here for. And if this helped clear things up, subscribe for more real, straightforward real estate content. I do breakdowns of the Tri-Valley and much more. So see you guys in the next one. Thank you.